Not only is this one of the funkiest Venom statues you will ever see, but he was shipped to me on January 15th, and today is August 9th, and I just got him. Which I know what you're thinking, damn UPS, what's wrong with you? I mean, at least it wasn't USPS. God knows I never would have received it if it was them. As the Extreme channel is pushing towards 50,000 subscribers, these are just a few of the statues we're giving away on the journey there. If you want to know how to win one, stay tuned for later in the video. Hey guys, thanks for tuning in. If you're new to the channel, I love Venom. Look behind me, a whole wall of high-end collectible Venoms. That's right, today we're looking at this 1/4 scale custom Venom statue. And I know what you're thinking, he is nuts. Why does he have a mohawk in the Infinity Gauntlet and Thor's hammer? We're gonna go over all that in the Extreme review today. So this is 1/4 scale, meaning a real life version would be 4 times bigger. This is a custom, which means it's a private unlicensed commission. Long sold out, I can't give you any information. And I was highly anticipating this piece, as I said in the intro. He was shipped and UPS actually did lose the original box, so the commissioner had to send me another one. Now, knock on wood that maybe that box that was shipped on January 15th will show up one day and I can send that back to him. But for now, I'm so happy he took care of me, sent me another one. Very excited because this is a $1,000+ statue. Now, one of the reasons I love Venom so much is growing up, I was really big into Venom's individual comics. I remember when Lethal Protector came out, I just fell in love with the character. I think he's incredibly badass. And the comics, in my opinion, does way more justice to him than the actual movies do. I'm looking forward to Venom 2. Recently, they launched the most recent trailer. Very excited to see him square off against Carnage. But I highly doubt he's going to have a mohawk or be holding Thor's hammer with the Infinity Gauntlet in that movie. So let's just dive right in this piece. Now, it's been out for a while, but for me, it's brand new, and honestly, it's just stunning. Kind of a spoiler for the review. I love everything about it. First thing we're going to talk about is concept. Now, while clearly the switch-outs do change the concept a little bit, this is a cocky Venom. So first of all, he's standing on these rocks, and I don't know the purpose of the rocks, why some of them are brown, some of them are silver, but you see the symbiote, the tendrils below. They're moving all over the place. I like that aspect. It's a different color than his actual suit, which we'll talk a little bit more about later during paint and sculpt. He's standing there in what we call a museum pose. Now, he's very fit, so most Venoms are really over-muscularized or they're very creature-esque. This is none. It looks like a man. It looks like Eddie Brock beneath that. He has the classic Venom symbol with a little bit of a twist. I'm not really a fan how they did that. This is actually based off of the comic cover as well. I'll show that to you in a second. And here where I have him posed, he has the mohawk on, he has the Infinity Gauntlet that's been spiderized or venomized, you see a spider symbol on it, and he is holding Thor's hammer. So I love how especially these switch outs really show the cockiness of him. He's just a son of a bitch, which I can really relate to. So I love the concept. The switch outs we'll talk more about in design. Here is the cover that it's actually based off of right here. But overall concept, it's simple. You know, he's not in a sewer, he's not on top of a building, it's different. So I do give the concept a 4 out of 5. Very impressed, I love it a lot. I like how they encompass so many different things with a Venom statue, which honestly, with 20 of them behind me and about 5 more on order, that's what I'm looking for. But where they really knock it out of the park on this piece is the design. So first, let's get the dimensions on him. What I love is it's not a Venom piece that takes up too much room. The widest point is probably about 17 inches. Deepest point is 13. To the handle of the hammer, you're right under 27 inches. And then without the hammer, you're about 22 because there are a few different Infinity Gauntlet selections we'll look at after we look at the unboxing and assembly. Came in one box, which was a nice change. However, it did have 3 layers in the standard black custom foam. Here is layer number 1. It had one of the Infinity Gauntlets, Venom, and some symbiote. Layer number 2 right here. Everything inside of it. And if you haven't figured this out, I do this in videos, so if I ever need to rebox it up, I just go back and watch this video to see all the different layers and where everything goes. So everything fit really well. With so many portraits, I was worried about the seam line, but it's very minimal. Very impressed that they did that there. But let's look at all these different portraits. First is the Mohawk one. Now, I really wish they didn't make the left eye winking. I understand what they were trying to do, but I think it would have been cooler without that. And it's cool that this is different, although I probably won't display it. Then they have one with his mouth almost closed, a little bit of his tongue coming out. But then I'm just a fan of this normal Venom portrait right here with the tongue out. And if you wanted to, you could actually display him without the tongue. 3 different Infinity Gauntlets. First one where he's just holding it up and some of the tendrils are going around him. Now this does have some light up features. Unfortunately, I don't have batteries at the office because it takes those watch batteries. Another one where he's snapping. And also with this, you can put kind of this gleam light up feature, almost like the surge of power is coming from the snap. So I will definitely keep that one handy. And the last, of course, him giving you the bird and holding Thor's hammer. Now above this, his finger, there is a long peg. So you have to put Thor's hammer in there. I would have liked it if you could display it with him just flipping the bird with the Infinity Gauntlet. I also like the fact that the Infinity Gauntlet's different on this. But truthfully, I like all the switch outs, so I plan to keep them out because I will change this guy up. So as you saw, everything fit together really well with the exception of this tendril is a little loose. I'm afraid it's going to fall out. The magnet isn't really quite fitting, but if I had to, I could glue it. But everything arrived non-damaged. So with the switch out options and the fact he doesn't take up a ton of space, I think the design's a 5 out of 5. Now this is actually my second piece from the group, and I have their other pieces on order as well. The first one, if you recall, is one I absolutely love, this Venomized Deadpool. If you haven't figured out, they're doing a symbiote theme. I'm not going to tell you what they have coming up next, but hopefully it should ship very, very soon. So make sure you've not only liked this video, but you've hit the subscribe button and hit that bell notification. Now we're going to dive into the paint and sculpt, and I think it's done very well. I don't think it's necessarily the best Venom I have, but I still like it a lot. And I think their Venomized Deadpool was actually better, but I still like it. All right, really quick, I want to look at the other portraits first. They did a lot of the same similar things that you'll typically see on a Venom statue, how around the eyes, kind of hard to see in this lighting, but there is a shade of blue around the outside of it. What's interesting about his skin, it's more of a suit than a live being, and you'll find that everywhere. The teeth look fantastic. His tongue, not the color I would have chose, but I think it contrasts really well on this one where he's kind of popping out. In this portrait, I love the Mohawk. I didn't think I would. I didn't even think I'd display this one, but I think it's just great because it's different. A lot of the same comments about the portrait here. Here's where the eye is winking, his teeth, kind of this big overbite, just a goofy looking Venom, and I think it just plays so well with the story. Now his other tongue right here, so has your classic eyes that kind of go all the way back, and his skin has a lot of this light blue shading on it. The teeth jagged everywhere, moist effect on the tongue with kind of some veins running down. Looks great. Now here's the contrast of his skin, much bluer than normal compared to the black symbiote. Almost makes you feel like he's living in a land of symbiotes, that those actually don't belong to him. Maybe he's kind of taken over, kind of like Null has, because he has the Infinity Gauntlet. So I'm pretty impressed with that. The rocks, I'm not sure what's going on here. Almost looks like this is supposed to be steel and snow. And it's weird how it's connected down here, so maybe it is an alien planet. I've never read the cover that this is based off of, so maybe I should have done some research, but the divots in there are kind of different. And again, that's why I like it, because it's so different. And as you look at his anatomy, like I said, very humanoid. Not a fan of the spider symbol, very different than I've seen. I don't think it works well. And I think it's a little bit, I haven't looked at the cover yet. I know I showed it to you guys earlier, but I haven't done the editing. So I think it's a little bit different. They do have a darkened effect on there, which looks good. I hate it when it's pure white. And then almost this pompous, arrogant stance with his stomach sticking out here. The Venom symbol is protruding, and it does connect all the way around. I love this Infinity Gauntlet. I love that it's black. I love that the symbiote has taken it over with the spider symbol on the front, and then you see some of the tendrils going up. Some of the other Gauntlets look great too. Thor's hammer looks fantastic. I think they did a really nice job, even has the engraving. The handle could have been done a little bit better. Here's the other gauntlet. I quite like how they did the symbiote wrapping around it. Yeah, like I said, I like all the different display options. So really nicely done. Not really a lot to cover on this guy, but I think they did a fantastic job. It's just so different. I think that's what I really dig about it. And the paint and sculpt here is really, really solid. It's not horrible. It's not the best I've ever seen, but I'd definitely say it's better than average. So fantastic job. All right, paint. Like I said, I'm not sure of some of the art direction choices, but it's clean, it's done well. I think the paint's a 4 out of 5 on this piece. It's a different kind of hue with Venom like we talked about, and I think that's good because it mixes it up with some of the other pieces. If you want to see what it's going to look like in the display, make sure to check out the Extreme Channel Instagram, Facebook page, and TikTok because I post exclusive stuff on there. Sculpt. Like I said, different type of Venom, but it's done well. It's done really well. I would have liked a little more texture in the rocks. Like I said, I'm not sure what they were trying to go for, but I think the sculpt's a solid 3 or a weak 4 out of 5. So we're going to go ahead and give it a 4 out of 5 because I'm loving everything about this piece. So glad that I got him in hand. All right, so value. He was an expensive piece. I had it written down at $1,200 plus shipping was a couple $100. But on the flip side, they only made 50 of them. So he's a pretty rare piece, and I know he's sought after. Now, while I don't plan to sell him, I have seen him sell for above retail. So we already know that the value is pretty good, especially since it's so different and you have so many different Venom options. So for those reasons, I think the value is a 4 out of 5. Could definitely make a profit. He's done really well. He's completely different. If you're a big Venom collector like me, this is something different for you. Now, last category is X Factor. Is this a 5 out of 5 statue? It's not a combination of the other scores. It's just when you look at this, is this different? Is your eye drawn to this? You know, even without the freaky stuff on here, the different stuff, I think it still is. I really like this piece. I think he's going to look fantastic in the collection. I give him a 5 out of 5. Let me know what you think. Would you buy this piece as a standalone, like your only Venom, or would you want to buy it to pair with other Venoms? The reason why I ask you to comment is because of this. We will be giving all of these statues away, plus additional ones, at every 5,000 subscriber milestone. To win one of these statues, all you have to do is make sure you've liked this video, you've subscribed to the channel, you've hit that bell notification, and then just drop a comment below. Every 5,000 subscriber milestone, we are going to do a random drawing and pick a random comment and give one of these statues away, plus some additional ones I'm not showing right now. The more videos you comment on, the higher your chances are to win. But thanks so much for tuning in, guys. Really appreciate it. If you could drop me a like on your way out, it really helps. Also, if you want to see more Venoms, I have a ton more customs coming in. Make sure to subscribe to the channel and hit that bell notification. Till next time, take care.